T-minus 20.
Falcon 9 is configured for flight.
T-minus 10.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The liftoff of the Falcon 9 takes flight with the Dragon spacecraft destined for the one-of-a-kind laboratory in microgravity, the International Space Station.
And the Falcon 9 has cleared the tower.
39A to perform the launch pad post-launch operations.
Copy, we'll go.
Standing by for the Falcon 9 to go transonic at 1 minute 6 seconds after liftoff.
2 seconds
shortly
later.
thereafter by
2 seconds later, we'll go through max Q, which is the maximum dynamic pressure on the vehicle.
Power to launch nominal.
standing by for Falcon 9 to go transonic.
Passing through max Q.
And we've just heard the cue for the vehicle has gone through max Q.
Next major milestone will be the shutdown of the 9 Merlin engines, scheduled for 2 minutes 27 seconds into flight. Less than a minute away from main engine cutoff.
MVAC engine chill has begun.
After main engine cutoff, the first stage will perform a Boostback burn about 15 seconds later and head back to nearby Cape Canaveral Air Force Station Landing Zone 1. And on NASA television, we'll be showing you the first stage landing as well as the continuation of the second stage taking Dragon to orbit.
Station 1 jettison will begin at 2 minutes 29 seconds.
Vehicle flying down the nominal. We have MECO.
And we have MECO.
Stage
main engine
separation
cutoff.
confirmed.
You can see the stage separation. Stage 1 on the right, drifting back away from stage 2, continuing to power Dragon into space. This view from the
Second stage ignition.
This view from the second stage of the Falcon 9 showing the engine has ignited. And that's the first stage, heading back toward the ground, just miles away from the launch pad. First stage is conducting a boost burn. About 10 seconds remaining in that burn.
Dragon nose cone deploy.
Meanwhile, the Dragon nose cone has deployed, exposing the
Trajectory
Dragon
nominal.
spacecraft to space.
Boostback shutdown.
Boostback burn shutdown. This view again from the second stage. Everything proceeding normally with both first and second stage operations of the Falcon 9. First stage continues to fly
Acquisition
upward,
of signal, Bermuda.
reaching its apogee in about 10 seconds before it makes its descent toward Earth. About 4.5 minutes after launch, everything continues normally. The second stage engine will continue burning for about another 5 minutes. Falcon 9 first stage, counting down toward its entry burn in about 1.5 minutes. You can see thrusters firing to control the first stage as it makes its way back toward Earth. Once again, to land at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station Landing Zone 1, accompanied by a sonic boom for those who are in the area. Five and a half minutes after launch, everything continues to go normally for the Falcon 9 first stage and for the second stage and Dragon spacecraft.
Have acquisition at New Hampshire.
New Hampshire tracking station, now tracking the vehicle. Less than 30 seconds away from the first stage entry burn. Landing of the first stage, scheduled in about 1 minute, 45 seconds. And we have the entry burn underway. And the entry burn has ended.
Shut down.
Stage 2 still on nominal trajectory.
Stage 2 still on course for its rendezvous with the International Space Station. Stage 2 engine cutoff about 2.5 minutes away from now. Stage 1 about to come back subsonic. About 45 seconds away from landing.
Transonic.
Stage 1 is transonic. Landing burn about to begin.
S1 landing burn.
Landing legs will be deployed in about 15 seconds. And a sonic boom felt throughout the Kennedy Space Center and Cape Canaveral Air Force Station area as Falcon 9 first stage
Landing legs deploy.
returns to Cape Canaveral Air Force Station Landing Zone 1.
LZ1, the Falcon has landed. Landing operators move into procedure 11.100, section 3 on LZ1 net.
Meanwhile, Dragon spacecraft, powered by the Falcon 9 second stage, continues on its way to orbit with a second stage engine cutoff expected in about 1 minute. Everything is proceeding per the timeline. 40 seconds away from second stage engine cutoff.
Stage 2 is under terminal guidance.
Stage 2 AFTS is saved.
Nine minutes after launch, everything continues to go well. Second stage burn is about to end, and spacecraft separation about 1 minute away.
Yes, Seco.
Seco, second stage engine cutoff confirmed.
GNC confirms good orbit insertion.
Guidance, Navigation, and Control Officer confirms good orbit insertion.
Dragon separation confirmed. Dragon is on its way to the International Space Station.
And Dragon is on its way to the International Space Station. Looking inside the Mission Control Center in Hawthorne, California, where SpaceX is headquartered. Great mission so far. The Dragon is on its way to the space station, controlled by the International Space Station Control Center in Houston, Texas. Standing by for solar array deploy of the Dragon spacecraft.
Dragon separation confirmed.
And there's Dragon separation. That will be followed by the solar array deploy in about a minute. Ten and a half minutes after launch. Stage 1 back on the ground. Stage 2 just deploying the Dragon spacecraft toward the International Space Station. Flight controllers in Mission Control Houston monitoring today's launch and the flight of Dragon as it makes its way toward a Wednesday rendezvous with the International Space Station with a grapple plan for approximately 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Six crew members aboard the International Space Station waiting for the rendezvous and for the contents of the Dragon spacecraft that will help them pursue science and provide them with resupply as well.
Dragon's propulsion system has successfully primed and thrusters are ready for firing. Dragon is in solar array deploy.
And solar array deploy is underway aboard the Dragon spacecraft. So everything is going normally today. Good launch, good spacecraft separation, and now solar array deploy, Josh.
And as Dragon unfurls its solar wings, the spacecraft continues its journey to the International Space Station. Dragon will arrive at the station on Wednesday. NASA television coverage will begin at 5:30 a.m. for the expected capture at 7 a.m.
And so with the successful launch and deploy of the Dragon and its journey to the International Space Station underway, that will wrap up our coverage from Falcon Launch Control.